Hello friends, I am Manish Maharshi, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Government Dungar College, Bikaner. Today I will discuss the poem Andre del Sarto by Robert Browning. But before starting the poem, I will like to give you some general information about this poem. This poem, Andre del Sarto, is subtitled The Faultless Painter by Robert Browning himself. The poem is in the collection of Men and Women. As we have already discussed that Browning is known for his dramatic monologue, and this poem is also an example of one of the finest dramatic monologue written by Robert Browning. The speaker in this poem is Andre, who is a painter and he is son of a tailor. He is sitting with his wife Lucrezia, with whom he had a quarrel on some issue. Now, through Andre's speech, we will come to know all about this quarrel, why they are quarreling, what kind of relationship they share with each other, what kind of painter Andre is, how they met, what kind of character Andre is, and indirectly we will also come to know about the character of Lucrezia. Thus, all these discussion points out that this poem is objective in nature, and objective poem or any objective writing means a writing in which the writer is not giving out his personal thoughts and he is nowhere present in his writing. But with every writer and every writing, inadvertently we come to know about the thoughts of the writer also. In this case, also through the character of Andre as well as his speech, we come to know about the thoughts of Browning also. Now we will see the major themes of this poem briefly, as we will discuss these themes in detail when we will discuss the poem. The four major themes of literature of any language or of any kind has always been life and death, love and beauty, mortality and immortality, art and creation. We will find that in every major literary writing in any language these themes are discussed. These themes has always inspired the artists and writers. The same is true about this poem also. The major themes in Andre del Sarto are what is art, artist, and mortality, what is love, marriage, and immortality through love, inspiration, true and fake, conflicts of human mind, responsibility, personal or societal. The setting of this poem is medieval and of Renaissance. Renaissance art and artists are discussed in the poem, and many indirect references of Renaissance is also there. Through this poem, Browning takes us into the deep recesses of the soul of Andre del Sarto. He opens for us his psyche and he is never judgmental. It is because of his non judgmental attitude that we are able to go very deep into the thoughts of his mind frame, and thus very successfully Browning puts before us the psychological portrait of Andre del Sarto. Nowhere in the poem Andre is inhibited in expressing his thoughts. He is very clearly expressing whatever he thinks about himself, about Lucrezia, about art, about other artists, and about the failure of himself as an artist. Everything he has discussed in a very open manner. Now in this video I will discuss the starting 20 lines of this poem Andre del Sarto. First I will recite these lines and then I will try to explain these lines in a little detail. Andre del Sarto, the faultless painter, but do not let us quarrel any more. No, my Lucrezia, bear with me for once. Sit down, and all shall happen as you wish. You turn your face, but does it bring your heart? I will work then for your friend's friend, never fear. Treat his own subject after his own way. fix his own time, accept to his own price, and shed the money into this small hand. When next it takes mine, will it? Tenderly? Oh, I will content him, but tomorrow, love, I often am much wearier than you think. This evening more than usual, and it seems as if forgive now. Should you let me sit here by the window with your hand in mine and look a half hour forth on soil, both of one mind as married people use. Quietly, quietly, the evening through, I might get up tomorrow to my work, cheerful and fresh as ever. The poet Robert Browning has put an adjective faultless before painter in the subtitle of this poem Andre del Sarto, which suggests that Robert Browning differentiates between a true inspired painter and one who is perfect in the sense that he does not do any mistake. He can be called more of a technician than a painter. So Browning considered Andre not an inspired painter but one who can copy a painting well or paint something faultless on its surface. This putting of an adjective before painter tells us much about Andre as a painter. But do not let us quarrel anymore. In this opening line, we are thrown directly into the middle of a tense situation where some sort of quarrel is already going on. Andre to his wife Lucrezia is pleading that they should stop fighting now. He starts his sentence with but, which means that besides all the logic and blame game involved, they should not fight anymore. And the very next line tells that this fighting between the husband and wife is not for the first time. It has been their regular course. He suggests her in a begging tone that she should stop fighting and tolerate him for at least some time. He does not asks it in a demanding way, nor he asks for love, but instead asks for being tolerant. These two lines tells us a lot about the relationship between the husband and the wife. But do not let us quarrel any more. No, my Lucrezia, bear with me for once. Sit down and all shall happen as you wish. Now in this line, Andre is so tired of this fighting that he, in a very in a tone of surrendering, says that he will do whatever she wishes. In a dramatic monologue, we come to know about the action of the other person who are present in that situation through the speech of the main speaker or the speaker itself. And in this case, that Andre says, you turn your face, but does it bring your heart? Now, Lucrezia, as soon as he says that, sit down and all shall happen as you wish, as he surrenders that he will do whatever Lucrezia wants, she turns her face towards him. But Andre is very much doubtful that if she is bringing her face uh, for for looking at him and in a friendly manner or in a loving manner, and he questions her, but does it bring your heart? Is it just you turned your face, you are just looking at me, or you are looking at me with love in your heart? Andre says that in the next line, I will work then for your friend's friend, never fear. Treat his own subject after his own way, fix his own time, accept to his own price, and shut the money in this small hand. Now it's very important to note that a true artist, whether he is a painter or a poet or a sculptor or be it any other creative thing he is doing, he never works on the conditions set by the other person. He works on his own he works on his own eccentric ways. But here Andre is ready to paint on the conditions set by his wife's friend's friend. That means not on the conditions set by his wife nor on the conditions of his wife's friend, but on the conditions set by his wife's friend's friend. Andre is showing that how much he loves Lucrezia, that he is ready to paint for her friend's friend. Even the subject will be according to the wishes of that friend's friend, and not only that, he will accept his time schedule and whatever money in return he will offer him. Now this shows Andre's mental state where he wants his wife's love, and if not love, then at least she should tolerate him with her. Andre says that he will present that money in her hand and says small hand in a loving manner as to please her. When next time after finishing she will take his hand in her own hand. But pretty soon he becomes doubtful and anxious and asks her if she will take his hand in her hand. Now he believes, though not very firmly, that she will take his hand in hers, but he asks her, will she take his hands tenderly, softly, in a loving manner, or she will take his hand coldly just to hold or just to take money from him. He says that he will satisfy completely his friend's friend, but not today, as he is so tired of this fighting, and he says he will do whatever she wishes, but not today, but tomorrow, and calls her in a loving manner love. This first stanza tells us so much about Andre as a man, Andre as an artist, Lucrezia's attitude towards him, their relationship, and the way Andre wants Lucrezia in his life.